Hello, true believers. This is Doc Hogg, and welcome to episode 42 of Comics and Variety. If you like this channel, please do subscribe, hit the notification bell to be notified about new videos, and for the sake of YouTube's search algorithm, please do hit the like button. Today we have another video from our friend and contributor, Mike, the Bloody Red Baron. This video deals with his advice on how to conduct oneself on Facebook, but before we get into that, I want to briefly mention a new indie comic that I'm backing called College of the Dead. Now, you may be saying, oh no, more zombies, but this one has an interesting twist in that the zombies invade a college, and I'm going to talk about more about why I'm backing this after Mike's video. For now, note that College of the Dead has reached about 60% of its goal, and it has about 9 days left on its campaign. So let's get it the rest of the way. Okay, let's get on with Mike's new video.
All right, we're here with Mike Barron, and he's going to share some words with us.
Greetings, my friends. Like a lot of writers and creative people, I'm on Facebook. I find it essential to my business. I've gotten work through Facebook, and I've made some good friends. And I've lost a lot of friends, too. There's something about Facebook that brings out the worst in people, and they end up fighting and unfriending each other. I'll never forget that once I posted that Lady Gaga had killed it in singing the national anthem, by which I meant she did a brilliant job. And within 10 posts, it had devolved to, fuck you, no, fuck you. So I have 5 rules for communicating on Facebook, and they've served me well. Number 1 is no ad hominem attacks. Number 2, no sarcasm. Number 3, be brief. Number 4, keep your sense of humor. Number 5, know when to quit. That may be the most important one. I've seen Facebook posts filled with recrimination and insults going on for weeks. My friends, it's not worth it. There is also a 6th rule which I occasionally invoke, which is don't weaponize a peaceful thread. And I think we all know what I mean by that. I hope this helps you, and thank you for listening.
So what is the word ad hominem?
When I say no ad hominem attacks, that means don't personally attack another poster. You don't call somebody a racist scumbag or a douchebag or whatever. And I see this all the time. You see it all the time. When people start slinging insults at each other on Facebook, the moment you start using personal attacks, you've lost the argument. Even if your opponent is using personal attacks as well, it's just not going to convince anyone. It shows that you have no rational argument. If you have a rational argument, present it rationally.
All right. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it. Okay. Well, hear more from you later.
Thank you very much, Mike. I'll admit that I'm going to have a bit of trouble with that no sarcasm rule. Just a bit. All right, let me now talk about why I like College of the Dead and why I think that you should back it. Adam Post, the creator, sent me the first 68 pages of this book, and the first few pages introduce you to the characters by giving their picture and a description, which seems kind of like an unusual way to start a comic, but it's actually quite good. I realized that as I was going through it. And the reason it's good is, first off, there are a lot of characters in this comic book, and 2, the introductions are more than just introductions. They are actually used here as a way of drawing you into the story. It's something kind of different that I haven't seen, that I can't recall seeing, at least recently, and I think it makes this comic book unusual and in a good way. The story here is that zombies are invading a college, and to me it's kind of a metaphor for the real world intruding on the ivory tower. And one of the best things that I saw in the preview was this character, Professor Elena Dimitrov. She is also a drug dealer on the side, and she is at best amoral. She has no problem using other people to fight the zombies. She is ruthless, and as someone who came from academia myself, this made me think that Adam Post must know an awful lot of college professors. Anyway, Elena's big plan is to drug the football team with methamphetamines, and when they are in a rage, to use them to fight a path through the zombies. And that is where the preview I received from Adam ended, which is a great way to end a preview because you really want to see what is next. The artwork I think is great, good story, good artwork. That's why I'm backing it, and I think that you should really consider backing it too. And I will provide a link to the Indiegogo page for College of the Dead in the description below. Okay, that music means that it is time for Hogg's Headlines, all the news that Doc Hogg wants to report on. Dateline, Marvel loves failure. Okay, on Tuesday, John Trent of Bounding Into Comics reported that Marvel Comics has hired Zoe Quinn to write a Hellcat story. Let me back up for just a second and say that Bounding Into Comics is a terrific website, not just for comic book news, but also things like television, movies, censorship. If you're not reading it, you should, and you should also consider subscribing to its Facebook page. Now, on the off chance you don't know who Zoe Quinn is, she is a sort of video game programmer, perhaps best known for being involved in a Gamergate controversy. She claimed that Gamergaters harassed her mercilessly and nearly ruined her life. The truth of the matter is that she probably fabricated all of that harassment so that she could cash in with a book deal. Quinn has programmed a video game called Depression Quest, which if you read its description and some of its reviews, it is about as exciting as it sounds. In late 2016, she started a Kickstarter campaign to create a video game called Kickstarted in the Butt, a Chuck Tingle digital adventure. It was supposed to be out in sometime around February 2017. She raised $85,000 for the campaign, and now about 2.5 years later, she has yet to deliver on that video game. In the middle of 2018, DC Comics hired Quinn for the relaunch of its Vertigo line of comics. Quinn wrote 6 issues of a comic book called Goddess Mode. We never saw a 7th issue because all of the titles in the Vertigo launch sold so poorly that DC decided to shut down the entire Vertigo line. So now, after all of that massive success, Marvel Comics decides to hire Zoe Quinn to write a 4-issue anthology for the Hellcat superhero titled Fearless. I just have to wonder, does anybody at Marvel do research on these people before they hire them? I mean, certainly someone needed to ask DC Comics why they were hiring someone who had no previous experience actually writing comic books. And now we need to ask Marvel, why are you hiring someone whose only experience writing comic books was a massive failure? I mean, look at these order numbers for Goddess Mode. These come from Comicron, and remember, Comicron does not track actual sales numbers, that is, comic books sold to customers. What it tracks here is the number of comic books ordered by comic book stores. In the first month of Goddess Mode, comic book stores ordered over 17,000 copies of issue 1 of Goddess Mode. And then that dropped by almost half, by more than half actually, in the next month, in January. And then in issue 3 in February, the orders dropped by over 20% again, and it just kept declining until June when Vertigo was canceled. You know, I have to say here, I just don't get it. I really don't understand. Why is Marvel Comics hiring someone like Zoe Quinn? It just doesn't make sense. That said, I can tell you that I have looked into the future and I see what lies ahead for Marvel Comics. Okay, I'll provide a link to the story from Bounding Into Comics in the description below. Until next time, have a very nice day.
A douchebag.